physician, physician. Consult a physician. She consulted a physician for her allergies. Be under a physician's care. Many patients are under a physician's care. Family physician, attending physician, licensed physician, emergency physician. My sister sees her regular physician twice a month. She has been working as a licensed physician in this hospital for over 10 years. The emergency physician treated 3 patients this morning.
Could you recommend a good physician for my annual checkup?
The physician in the community clinic is very experienced.
Great, I'll schedule an appointment with that physician tomorrow.
Apparatus, apparatus. Use an apparatus. Operate an apparatus. The scientist operates the apparatus carefully. Set up an apparatus. Install an apparatus. We need to set up the apparatus before the experiment. Laboratory apparatus. Medical apparatus. Testing apparatus. Breathing apparatus. Scientific apparatus. The science lab ordered new testing apparatus last month. All firefighters must wear breathing apparatus when entering a burning building. The gym has various exercise apparatus for different muscle groups.
Do you know how to use this measuring apparatus?
Let me check the instruction manual before operating the apparatus.
Yes, we need to be careful with this expensive apparatus.
Landlord, landlord. Be a landlord. Mr. Chun is our landlord. Inform the landlord. Contact the landlord. We need to inform the landlord about the leak. Rent from a landlord. They rent a house from a local landlord. Resident landlord. Local landlord. Property landlord. The resident landlord lives in the apartment downstairs. The landlord comes by every month to collect the rent. Our landlord is very responsive to maintenance requests.
Have you talked to the landlord about fixing the washing machine? Yes, our landlord promised to send someone tomorrow. That's great. The landlord is quite efficient this time.
Tenant, tenant. Be a tenant. Become a tenant. She became a tenant last month. Somebody take in tenants. Many homeowners take in tenants to help pay the mortgage. Evict a tenant. The landlord cannot evict tenants without proper notice. Current tenant. Long-term tenant. Commercial tenant. The tenant always pays the rent on time. We need to find a new tenant by the end of this month. The previous tenant left the apartment in perfect condition.
The upstairs tenant complained about the noise last night.
Maybe we should remind all tenants about the quiet hours policy.
I'll send a notice to every tenant this afternoon.
Urban, urban. Make a place more urban. The new development will make this area more urban. Become increasingly urban. This district has become increasingly urban. Remain urban. Despite changes, the city center remains urban. Urban area. Urban district. Urban planning. Urban population. Urban living. The construction of the subway system will make this suburb more urban. Many companies choose urban locations for better accessibility. Our neighborhood has become increasingly urban since the shopping mall opened.
How do you like living in this urban neighborhood?
I love the convenience of urban living. Everything is within walking distance.
Yes, that's the best part of urban life.
Signage. Signage. Install signage. Put up signage. The mall installed new signage throughout the building. Improve signage. Update signage. The airport needs to improve its signage. Follow the signage. Just follow the signage to find the exit. Clear signage. Directional signage. Digital signage. Parking signage. They have installed signage in multiple languages for international visitors. The new hospital is improving its signage to help patients find their way. Please follow the signage to reach the conference room.
I can't find the restroom in this shopping center.
Look for the directional signage near the escalators.
Oh yes, now I see the signage, thanks.
Pedestrian. Pedestrian. Keep pedestrians safe. The new barriers keep pedestrians safe. Be open to pedestrians. This area is open to pedestrians only. Watch out for pedestrians. Drivers must watch out for pedestrians. Pedestrian crossing. Pedestrian bridge. Pedestrian zone. Pedestrian safety. The city has built a new pedestrian walkway to the park. This street will keep pedestrians safe with wider sidewalks. The mall entrance is open to pedestrians 24 hours a day.
This pedestrian zone is always crowded during lunchtime.
Maybe we should find another pedestrian path to avoid the crowd.
Good idea, there's less pedestrian traffic near the park.
Disposal. Disposal. Make disposal of something. Make proper disposal of chemical waste. Have the disposal of something. The manager has the disposal of old equipment. At somebody's disposal. The resources are at your disposal. Waste disposal. Garbage disposal. Secure disposal. Safe disposal. The company hired experts for the disposal of hazardous materials. All documents are at your disposal in the office. The factory needs a better waste disposal system.
What's the proper disposal method for these batteries?
We need to take them to a special disposal facility.
Right, I'll drop them off at the recycling station tomorrow.
Hygiene. Hygiene. Maintain good hygiene. Everyone must maintain good hygiene. Improve somebody's hygiene. We need to improve students' hygiene. Hygiene practices. Hygiene standards. Food hygiene. Oral hygiene. Good hygiene habits prevent the spread of disease. The restaurant maintains high hygiene standards. Regular hand washing is essential for proper hygiene.
Do you think our office kitchen meets basic hygiene standards?
We should improve the hygiene practices in the kitchen.
Let's create some new hygiene guidelines for everyone.
Strengthen. Strengthen. Strengthen something. Regular exercise strengthens muscles. Be strengthened by something. Our team was strengthened by new members. Strengthen against something. The euro has strengthened against the dollar. Serve to strengthen. Further strengthen. Gradually strengthen. This merger will further strengthen the company. These exercises are designed to strengthen your stomach muscles. The new law is aimed at strengthening protective measures for workers.
How can we strengthen our team's communication?
Regular meetings will help strengthen our collaboration.
I agree. This will help strengthen our overall performance.
Wheelchair. Wheelchair. Use a wheelchair. She uses a wheelchair to get around. Push a wheelchair. Drive a wheelchair. The nurse pushed the wheelchair down the hall. Electric wheelchair. Manual wheelchair. Wheelchair access. Wheelchair ramp. Wheelchair lift. The new building has wheelchair access everywhere. Modern wheelchairs are becoming more lightweight. This bus is equipped with a wheelchair lift.
Is this museum wheelchair accessible?
Yes, they have wheelchair ramps and elevators.
That's perfect for my friend who uses a wheelchair.
Disability. Disability. Have a disability. She has a physical disability. Cope with a disability. He copes well with his disability. Suffer from a disability. Many people suffer from some form of disability. Physical disability. Mental disability. Learning disability. Temporary disability. Permanent disability. The company actively hires people with disabilities. Her disability doesn't affect her work performance. Schools must accommodate students with learning disabilities.
Our office needs better facilities for employees with disabilities.
We're installing new ramps and accessible bathrooms.
That will make the workplace more inclusive for those with disabilities.
Coarse. Coarse. Be coarse in texture. The fabric is coarse in texture. Have a coarse surface. The wall has a coarse surface. Something feels coarse. The sand feels coarse. Coarse hair. Coarse texture. Coarse grain. Coarse material. Her skin has become coarse from working outdoors. The bread has a coarse texture, but tastes good. The coarse salt helps to tenderize the meat.
This sweater feels quite coarse.
That's because it's made from natural wool.
I prefer something less coarse for winter wear.
Airtight. Airtight. Keep something airtight. Keep the jar airtight to preserve freshness. Make something airtight. Make the food container airtight for storage. Be completely airtight. The vacuum package is completely airtight. Airtight container. Airtight seal. Airtight packaging. Airtight storage. You need to store these coffee beans in an airtight container to keep them fresh. The food delivery box has an airtight design to prevent spills during transport. Make the plastic container airtight before putting it in the freezer.
My coffee beans seem to go stale quickly. What should I do?
Use an airtight container and keep it away from sunlight.
Thanks, I'll get a proper airtight storage jar tomorrow.
Stimulate. Stimulate. Stimulate something. Coffee stimulates brain activity. Stimulate somebody to do something. The bonus stimulated employees to work harder. Be stimulated by something. Children are stimulated by new experiences. Greatly stimulate. Effectively stimulate. Directly stimulate. Further stimulate. The new teaching methods significantly stimulate students' interest in reading. Regular exercise can effectively stimulate your metabolism. These activities are designed to intellectually stimulate young children.
How can we stimulate more participation in our team meetings?
Let's try some interactive activities to stimulate discussion.
That should help stimulate everyone's engagement.